Hello, guys, and welcome to the very first chapter of Information Technology 402 Networking Fundamentals. This is the very first unit that we are going to learn in class 10. It's known as the whole unit is named as Web Applications, and inside Web Applications there are two chapters. One is Networking Fundamentals and the other chapter is Web Applications. Okay, so we are now going to start with Networking Fundamentals, and before I start the chapter, I would like to point out that if you have seen my previous videos, then the entire course of class 10 is similar to class 9, IT 402 class 9. It has two parts, part A and part B. Part A is entirely vocational skills and part B is ICT skills. And inside part B, this is the first chapter inside part B, web applications, and inside first unit under part B, web applications, and inside web applications, this is the first chapter. Now this video is going to be of two parts. The first part, where I will teach you about the networking fundamentals and basics of networking. The second part is where we try out web applications and we create blogs, we learn more about blogs, about the internet, etc. Okay, so without much further ado, let's just start the chapter. So here in this unit we will learn about what is a network, what are the various types of network, what are the benefits of network, what are the disadvantages of network, and other things. Okay, so we shall start by defining what is a network. Now if you ask any person what a network is, then they may give you lots of other definitions, but basically what a network is, if there are two devices, okay, there are two devices and they are connected through any medium. Let's say this is device 1 and this is device 2. If these two devices are connected by any medium so that these devices can exchange data and information amongst each other, then these two devices are said to be in a network. Now medium can be a wire, it can also be wireless. Okay, so if any two devices are connected using any medium so that they can exchange data and information over that medium, then the devices are said to be in a network. That is the definition of a network. We can further enhance the definition by understanding that these devices, if they are in a network, in such a network, then they have to obey certain rules and regulations. Okay, let's say when they are exchanging data, the devices must not be off, they should be on. A simple rule. Okay, and if device 1 is transmitting, then device 2 must be receiving. This is another rule. So there are certain rules and regulations which these devices must follow. So two devices, if they are connected together, this is device 1, device 2, two devices connected together using any medium, it can be wired or wireless, to exchange data and information over that medium, and which follows certain rules and regulations, then those devices are said to be in a network. Got it? And the entire process of connecting these two devices with that medium using certain rules and regulations, that is known as networking. The process of connecting these two devices. Now these two devices can be anything. Okay, these two devices can be two telephones, these two devices can be two computers, two smartphones, it does not matter. What matters is they are exchanging data and information amongst each other. If they are exchanging data and information, then these devices are said to be in a network. Got it? So that is the basic definitions that are given here. The term networking represents the process involved in developing, designing, implementing, managing and upgrading network technologies. Then what is a network? A network generally consists of two or more computers. Here it is said as computers. Okay, so because this is IT 4.0, this is you are learning computers, so this is computers which are interconnected either logically or physically using special software and hardware. Yeah, the rules and regulations that I mentioned, those are implemented using a software, and the wire, the devices, those are hardware. So if this device is a computer and this other device is a computer, then these are said to be in a computer network. If a device is a telephone and the other device is also a telephone, then these are said to be in a telephone network. Okay, then let's say there is a broadcasting station which is broadcasting something to a satellite, and that satellite is further broadcasting it back to another station which is then broadcasting back to your homes, okay, to your TVs, let's just say. Okay, then this entire network becomes a television network. Basically, if exchange of data and information is taking place between any two devices, then it is said to be those devices are said to be in a network, and the process of implementing that is known as networking. Here we are learning about computers, so if any two computers are connected using any medium, it can be wired or wireless, using any medium which allows those computers to exchange data and information amongst each other, and by using certain software we can impose certain rules and regulations that allows the devices to operate, the computers to exchange data easily, then the whole thing is said to be in a network. This is just a basic definition of network. What is a network? Okay, so if the question comes in exam, it can generally come as a 1-mark question, then you just write this one. A network generally consists of two or more computers which are interconnected either logically or physically using special software and hardware. Okay, then what does network computers do? They exchange data and information, they can exchange programs, they can exchange resources. I'll get to you in a minute what are resources and all these things. So they can do all these things. Okay, so network computers exchange information and share resources. They exchange information and they share resources when they are connected in a network. Network computers generally involve different technologies, protocols and hardware devices to ensure connectivity and communication. So here in this point it is said that just by connecting one wire between two computers does not make a network. There will be certain hardware, specialized hardware that makes the network. There can be specialized software that makes the network. There are certain other rules and regulations, certain protocols. In networking terms, the rules and regulations that a computer must obey, those are known as protocols. P-R-O-T-O. Wait, I'll just write here. Protocols. Okay, so they have to follow these protocols to exchange data and information. So all these things they have to do for the computers to be in a network. Network computers generally involve different technologies, protocols and hardware devices to ensure connectivity and communication. Okay, then let's get to the next point. What benefits networking? Okay, networking provides the following benefits to its users: communication, data sharing, resource sharing, internet access sharing, data security and performance enhancement. Let's just go through all these points one by one. So how does networking provides benefit in communication? Let's just see. Okay, so let's say there are two computers, okay, and they are not connected. If they have to exchange data and information, then they have to do it in an offline way. Either they have to store the data and information in a pen drive and then that pen drive will have to be brought to this computer and then attached to this computer. Okay, let's just say this is computer 1 and this is computer 2. So they can exchange data like this way, or if you connect those two computers in a network, then they can exchange data in this way. Now, which is more faster? This one, which involves transportation, which involves human interaction, or this one, which can be done automatically. So communication is improved, or networking improves or benefits communication between two computers. Okay, so communication is improved, exchange of data and information is improved between two computers if the computers are in a network. This is why communication. Then data sharing. As I have already told you that if any data is needed to be shared between two computers, then if they do it in an offline way, it will be very tedious. Okay, they can quickly do it if the two computers are connected over a network by using a single wire. Okay, so data sharing becomes easier. Let's say computer 1 has a file which is needed by computer 2. If there is no network between them, then that file will have to be copied to a pen drive or to a CD and then taken over to computer 2 and then again copied back for the computer 2 to receive this file. Let's say this computer is in India and this is in United States. Then tell me what will happen, how much time it will take. Okay, so offline mode of communication is not preferred in these things. So that's why if we connect the two computers together using a network, then data sharing, application sharing, whatever things computer 1 has, computer 2, if the computer 2 wants to have those things also, then it can be easily accessed by computer 2 over the network. That is how network improves data sharing. Networking improves data sharing. Then resource sharing. Let me quickly tell you what a resource is. Okay, so let's think of two computers again. Two computers, one computer, not two computers. Let's just think of a big computer here. This is a big computer. Okay, that means this is a very powerful computer. Let's just say then there is a computer here which has a printer attached to it. Okay, and then let's just say there is another computer here which has a what can I say, which has a scanner attached to it. I am drawing with a mouse, so please excuse my drawings. These are not good, I know. Then there is another computer here which has, let's say, a webcam attached to it. So now let's say there is someone, okay, then he wants to take a picture, print that picture and scan that printed picture and send it over somewhere. He wants to perform three things: take a picture, print the picture, send the scanned copy of the picture somewhere. Then if the computers are not connected over a network, this is, let's say this is computer 1, let's just give it a different color so that you guys will understand. This is, let's say this is computer 1 and this is computer 2 and this is computer 3. Okay, so if the guy wants to perform these three tasks, then firstly he has to go to computer 1 to take the picture, then he has to transfer that file by offline method using a pen drive or something to computer 2 where he or she will print the file, and then he'll take the file here where he will scan the file and then send it. Okay, so this person has to move here, here and here. Now let's say the computers are connected together using a network to the main computer here. I'll tell you in a moment why I'm not interconnecting these computers just together like this and connecting this to this main computer. Okay, for now just think that this is a very good and powerful computer. It's a good computer, it's a very powerful computer, and these are three not so powerful computers, but those are connected together to the main computer using wires. Okay, then let's say the person has to take a picture, print that picture, scan that picture. Okay, then this person can sit on a terminal. Person can sit on a terminal, which is another computer that is attached to this main computer. Okay, He can just take the picture from this computer by sending a command from this computer to the main computer and then main computer, and then again sending the command to this computer. Understood? This means this person need not go to this computer to take the picture. Okay, he can take the picture by sending a command from this computer. Okay, the person is seated here. Let's say there's the chair here, and the person is very lazy. He does not want to move. Then, by sending another command from this computer to this computer to this computer, he can print the picture. Then, sending another command from this computer to this computer to this computer, he can then scan the picture and then send it. So, this person need not go to computer 1 to computer 2 and computer 3 to access the webcam, the printer and the scanner. He can do it just by sitting in one place, this computer. Okay. Now, how did he do that? Since these three computers are connected together using a connection, using a wire or using networking, these three computers are connected together. Since these three computers are connected together to this computer and to this computer, these three computers can exchange data and information with this computer. Yes? Okay. So, if this computer has a camera attached, okay, then if this computer can access this computer, as a corollary, this computer can also access the camera. This is known as sharing. This is known as sharing. Okay, S-H-A-R-I-N-G, sharing. Got it? Since this computer can access this computer, so in turn, this computer can access the camera that is connected to this computer. Again, since this computer can access this computer that can exchange data and information, which means access this computer, it can access the device that is connected to this computer, that means a printer. Similarly, since this computer can access this computer, it can access the device that is connected to this computer. These accessing of peripheral devices connected to computers over the network, okay, this is known as sharing. Got it? And these devices, which are in turn shared among this computer and these computers, these devices are known as resources. Okay? These devices are known as resources. So, what are resources? Resources are those devices which can be shared by all the computers that are connected in a network. And what is sharing? Sharing means using the resources that are connected to the computers in a network. And what does sharing of resources mean? Sharing of resources means that a user can access any device that is connected over the network. This is known as sharing of resources. Okay, these are known as resources, and resources being accessed, this is known as sharing. So, sharing of resources. Got it? By the way, if you remember class 9, if a device is connected to any one computer, then this device is known as a peripheral. This is not known as a resource, this is known as a peripheral. However, if that device connected to this computer is then in turn connected to a network which lets the device to be accessed by other computers, then that device is known as a resource. Got it? So, sharing of resources. Resource sharing. Resource sharing means any device in a network can be accessed by any computer that is connected in a network. This is known as resource sharing. The devices are known as resources. Using those devices by any computer in the network is known as sharing. So, resource sharing. Got it? Then, internet access sharing. This is very simple. Okay, let's say a computer is connected to the internet. So an internet is always represented using a cloud. Okay, then let's say there are two computers here which needs internet. Okay, then if these three computers are in a network, then since this computer is connected to the internet, this internet can easily be shared among these three computers. Let's say this is computer 1, this is computer 2, and this is computer 3. If they are in a network. If they are not in a network, then this internet again will have to be connected to this computer, then this internet again will have to be connected to this computer, which is not feasible. Also it increases this one cost, it increases wire cost, it increases labor cost, it increases latency. Okay, so these are the problems. If computers are connected over a network, then easily, if one computer is connected to the internet, then the other computers that are connected to that computer using the network can easily access the internet. So this is what being told here, that internet access sharing is beneficial when computers are in a network. Got it? Then data security. Now data security in network is a very big concept. Let me just quickly see if it is recording here. Data security is a very big concept. It cannot be explained in one session. Okay, but let me try to give you a quick example of how data security is beneficial if the computers are connected in a network. Wow, I've drawn this one very big. I have made some, by the way, pictures which I can use, but I prefer drawing. It's nice. Let me use the board as a sort of board. Okay, it feels like I'm teaching if I'm drawing. Otherwise, I'm just giving a lecture. So I like drawing. If you mind my drawings, then I can't help you. Okay, so let's say this is computer 1, this is computer 2, this is computer 3, and this is computer 4. And these 4 computers are connected to this main big computer. Okay, this is a very big computer. This is a big grumpy computer. Why have I given it a frown? This is a nice computer. Okay, now let's say there is some unscrupulous person. Okay, there is a hacker who wants to access this computer. Now this computer, if you want to protect this computer from this hacker, then you have to secure this computer. How will you secure it? But by giving it an antivirus, a firewall, okay, network security tools, all these things. You have to give it to this computer so that this computer is protected from this hacker. But in a network, if the computers are not in a network, then the hacker can access this computer if it is not secure. If it is secure, the hacker can easily move to another computer and can access this computer. Then again, you have to use the same tools here also. Okay, so which means to secure all the 4 computers in the network, you have to install the tools, all these tools, this anti-hacker, anti-theft tools to all the 4 computers in the network if the computers are not connected in the network. Okay, it increases cost. Firstly, okay, antivirus software, it has a price, it costs. Firewall, setting up firewall, it is a very, very big task. Setting it up in a network in one computer is a very big task. Doing it 4 times is very resource heavy. It is not feasible. Okay, then security tools, if you put security tools in one computer, it's okay. Repeatedly putting the same security tools, it dilutes the security. Okay, if you know what I mean. You will get to know what I mean when you go on to the later chapters where we will learn about internet security. Okay, but let's just say it is not good to install all these tools in the same tools in these 4 computers. Firstly, it will increase the uses of resources, then it will slow down the computers, etc., etc. That's why if you install two antiviruses in a computer, you will see the speed of the computer drastically slow down. So that's why I advise just to use a basic antivirus and just use your mind, not to go to different sites, etc., etc. But I digress. Let's get to the main topic. So if we install the security tools, it's well and good. But if the computers are in a network, no need to install security tools in these four computers. No need. Okay. Let's say these four computers are in a bank, and at the end of the day, they exchange data and information. They copy all their data to the main computer. Okay. So at the end of the day, since all the data from these four computers are copied over to the main computer, then this hacker or this unscrupulous person, even if he or she accesses these computers, he or she will get nothing, nada, because these computers are empty. The data and information is in this computer. Again, it's if data and information is in this computer, then it's no use installing these tools in all these computers. Why don't we just install these tools in one computer and then secure this computer nicely? Okay, this computer is secured now. Okay, so instead of this person, this unscrupulous person accessing the terminals, he or she must access this computer to get the data, which he or she can't. Why? Because it is being secured. So if you are understanding this, if you install security tools in one computer, in turn you install security tools in all these computers, because at the end of the day, the data and information is copied over to the main computer. Okay, so they cannot access the main computer, which means they cannot access the terminal computers or the end computers. So installing installing this antivirus and firewall and security tools in one computer only, it reduces the cost. Then it speeds up the process. No need to install in the four computers. Then it the computers does not become laggy, because the endpoint computers, the client computers are free. Only the server is installed with antivirus, firewall and security tools. Okay, so security is enhanced, or security becomes better if computers are in a network. Understood? So if there is an institution or an organization which wants to enhance its security, if that institution or organization have multiple computers, then that institution or organization can set up a main computer from which data and information can be accessed by all these node computers or these terminals or these client computers, and secure the main computer at one go. Okay, this improves data security in all the four computers. So this is what being told here, that data security is very much improved or is benefited by networking. Then comes performance enhancement. Okay, so again, performance enhancement is how can I explain it to you? Performance enhancement, let's say working of a node computer. Okay, so let's say there is 2 computers, and there is a big computer here, and then there is another computer here. Okay, let's say this is a main good computer, a very powerful computer. These are some client computers that are average, and this is a workstation, let's say, and this is of somewhat low power. Okay, so let's say you have a file to be rendered, file to be processed, that is of let's say 50, 60, 70 MB. All 70 MBs of it needs to be processed. Okay, so let's say this computer is not that powerful. Okay, and this computer takes 2 hours to process the whole thing. If these computers are connected in a network, okay, So see what happens. This file need not be processed in one computer only. This file can be copied to the main computer. Then what will happen? This main computer will divide up the process. Okay, let's say 20 MB will be processed by this computer, then 20 MB will be processed by this computer. Okay, 40, then 10 MB will be processed by this computer, and only 10 MB remains which can be processed by this computer. So the work is being divided up between all these computers. So the amount of time it gets decreased. Let's say before it took 2 hours, now it can be done in just half an hour. The whole 70 MB processing. All it needs to do is just copy and paste the files, and then copy and paste the files back to the computer in which the user is working. So this is how networking improves performance, by dividing up the work in the nodal computers. However, not all networks support this dividing of the work. There are certain special computers that can divide up a computational task to its nodal computers. Those are very specialized computers. Those are supercomputers. Okay, but the basic thing is that networking improves performance. A task can be divided up by the computers that are connected in a network, thus reducing the amount of time that is required to process the whole task. That's why performance is enhanced when the computer is in a network. Got it? So these are the benefits of networking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will come for 2 marks or 3 marks. How is networking beneficial to how is networking? Mention 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points how networking is beneficial, or give the benefits of networking. Then you have to write communication, you have to write data sharing, you have to write resource sharing, internet access sharing, data security, and performance enhancement. You have to write all these points. Also, another question may come: explain how communication is benefited by networking, or explain how communication and resource sharing is benefited in computers when the computers are in a network. So such question can come where you have to explain these points. Okay. So let's go to the next topic, that is disadvantages. Yeah, not all things have advantages. There are certain disadvantages also in networking. So these are the following disadvantages. However, advantages outweigh disadvantages for computers in a networking. The first disadvantage is setup cost. Yeah, in networking you have not only the computers will not do. You have to buy specialized hardware for networking. Those hardware can be switches, routers, hubs. We'll get to that in a moment. So you have to buy certain things to set up a computer network. Also, there is the maintenance cost, and there is the initial setup cost. So all these things are there. So yeah, if you buy 4 computers and just operate those 4 computers, then it will not be that much that costly than if you connect those 4 computers in a network. Because if you connect those 4 computers in a network, then you have to buy a switch, which is additional money. Then you have to buy certain routers if you want to connect them to the internet, so it increases the cost, all these things. So if you want the computers to be in a network, it increases the initial setup cost, actually not the whole setup cost, the initial setup cost. After the computers are in a network, then they operate just fine, and you have the benefits, not the disadvantages. But still, setup cost is a disadvantage. Okay. Administration. Yeah, so administration is another disadvantage of networking. How administration is a disadvantage of networking? Let's say a person can manage only 50 computers at one go. Okay, so if a organization or a company has, let's say, 100 computers, so that organization or company will have to hire another person to take care of the next 50 computers. So as number of computers increases geometrically, then the administration cost also increases. Okay, so administration cost is one other disadvantage of networking. Then undesirable sharing. Now, how undesirable sharing is a disadvantage? How can I explain? Yeah, see here. Let's say a person is sending a file to this person over a network. Okay, then that network is using certain specialized hardware. Let's say this is a server, this is another client, this is another client, this is sending something. Okay, so if this computer is connected in using a server or in a network, then obviously the data is going to be shared in all these three computers. So if some other person wants to see that data, then all he needs to do is to log on to this computer. Okay, then since the data is shared among these three computers, since this computer also has a copy of the data, then he need not see the data here or here. He can just log into this computer and then see the data here. So even if you don't want to share that data, networking increases the risk of sharing of data. So undesirable sharing of data can happen if computers are in a network. Undesirable behavior. Now, how undesirable behavior is, let's say the thing that where I have explained how computers can share their computational resources. Now, if let's say there is this computer and this computer and this computer. Okay, so if a task is given to this computer to process something, then this computer will divide up the task in these two computers. But let's say this computer is already performing a task and this computer is not configured in a good way. Okay, so it will stop the current task that it is doing, then it will start the task that it receives from the server, complete that task, and then take over the task that it was previously doing. Okay, so this computer, so if a person who wants the task as a priority, then he or she will have to wait, because this computer is getting another task from the server. Now, if a computer is connected on a network, obviously this computer will take the task from the server as a priority. It will pause this task, it will do this task, finish up this task, and then it will again start on this task, which increases the waiting time for this person. Okay, so this computer behaved undesirably. That means this computer, now if one computer is not connected over the network, so if certain task is given to this computer by this person, and if that task takes 30 minutes, okay, then if a computer is connected in a network, it receives additional task, then it will take more than 30 minutes for this computer to do that task. So this computer is not behaving like this computer, or this computer is behaving undesirably. That is what is being told here. If the computers are connected in a network, then certain behaviors of computers become undesirable. Okay, so also there is another thing, undesirable behavior, that is related to undesirable sharing, which means that if the computers are connected together, then certain data and information is shared among all the computers that are connected in a network, which can increase the leakage of data and information. So if you don't want the data and information to be shared among all these computers, it becomes undesirable. The data and information is shared. Okay, so yeah, that is also an undesirable behavior of networking. Then data security. Now you have just learned about data security here as a benefit. Now here you are learning about data security as a challenge or a disadvantage. Why? Data security is very confusing in a network. Now if let's say you have given certain file to a server and that server is not properly protected, then that file is obviously going to be shared in all the computers. If this file is a virus and this computer is not protected, then these computers will also copy the same virus. Got it? So it decreases security. Got it? So this is why networking, however, if these computers are not connected in a network, then the virus will only infect this computer. It cannot infect these two computers. But if these computers are also connected using a network, then obviously the virus is going to affect these computers too. That is why data security is reduced in networking. However, if you take this thing seriously, if you take data security seriously in a network, then data security as a disadvantage can be reduced. Okay, but still it is a disadvantage. So what are the disadvantages of networking? Setup cost, administration cost, undesirable sharing, undesirable behavior, and data security. So 1 2 3 4 5 points for 2 marks. If the question comes, you have to write. Or the question can also come like this: explain any 2 disadvantages of networking. Explain the following disadvantages of networking: administration cost, undesirable behavior. Okay, so then you have to explain administration cost and undesirable behavior. Then let's go to the next components of a network. Okay, so what are the basic components of a network? The network usually comprises of 5 basic components: server, client, channels, operating system, and interface. Server, client, channel, operating system, and interface. Now, what is a server, what is a client, what is a channel, what is an operating system, and what is an interface? So remember, all this time that I have been drawing a big computer and the small computers here. This big computer that is connected centrally in a network, this is known as a server. Okay. Alright, let me just show you. I have prepared something. Okay. So let's say these are all the computers that are connected here. This is a computer, this is a computer, this is computer number 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Okay. Now, these are all computers connected together to one main computer. And the purpose of this computer is to serve, S-E-R-V-E, serve, yes, serve. Serve files, folders, applications, or resources to all the computers that are connected in the network. Then that computer which serves files, folders, applications, or computational resources to all the computers that are connected in a network, that computer is known as a server. Okay, and the other computers that are connected in the network, those are known as clients. Okay, and clients accesses the servers to get data, instruction, and other things. A client always accesses the server, and the server serves the accessed materials. Now let's say this computer needs a file. Okay, then it tells the server, hey server, I need a file, and the server, yes my lord, I will give you the file. So the server serves the file to this computer. So this is the purpose of a server. And since the server has to serve not only one computer but to all the computers that are connected in a network, the server needs to be powerful. Okay, so this is a server, and the computers that are connected, those are known as clients. That is a client server model of networking. Then comes let me just quickly see here, server, client, and channels. Okay, see the wires that connect the server to the clients, those are known as channels. Now remember, I told you connection can be either wired or wireless. So a channel is nothing but any medium which connects a client to a server, or which connects one computer to another computer. Now that is a channel. Okay, then operating system. Operating system is obviously, let me just erase this one. Okay, operating system is the software that is used to operate all the computers in a network, and then the interface. Now interfaces are points. Okay, interfaces are points. So if this computer is connected to this computer, then this computer will have a certain point of entry, point of exit, and this computer will also have a certain point which connects these two computers by using a wire. Those points are known as interfaces. Okay, so these are the basic components of the network. Here, 5 basic components: server, client, channels, operating system, and interface. Server is the main computer that serves file, folder, and applications. Clients are computers that are connected to the server that takes in the files, folders, and applications that is being served from the server. Channels are the medium through which client, server, and all these computers are connected in a network. Operating system is the software which is used to operate those computers, and interfaces are the points, are the devices which connects those servers to the clients. Correct? So these definitions are given here. Servers are powerful host computers that store data and execute applications. Okay. Yeah, they need to be powerful, and they obviously store data and they execute the applications from the client computers. Clients are computers that are connected to the server that use network and shared resources. If certain resources are shared, let's say if a printer is connected to this computer, then the printer in this computer can be shared by all the computers in a network through this server. Okay, so clients share resources. Okay, and then channels are circuits or pathways connecting networks through which different interconnected computers share the information. Just like I told you, channels are, think of channels like the wire or the wireless medium through which computers are connected. Then network operating system is the operating system software on the server, not only on the server, but it operates all the clients and the servers. So that is an operating system. And interface devices connect server and clients. So interface devices, think of interface devices like points. There is a point here and there is a point there, and these two points are connected. So this point is a interface device. Got it? So these are the various components of a network. Let me quickly show you if I have. Yeah, these are the advanced components of a network. Let me give you. So this following figure shows a typical example of a network. Yeah, there is a computer, there is a scanner, there is a laptop, there is a printer, there is another computer that are all connected using one medium to the main computer. So the main computer is a server. Then these are all clients. These are all resources which are shared by the computers in the network. So this is a typical example of a network. Then types of network. What are the various types of network? Now there are types of network are divided into component type networks and on the basis of geography. So on the basis of geography means the area in which a computer network is happening, a computer network is interconnected. Okay, then it is dependent on the area, or it is dependent on the individual devices that are used to connect computers in the network. So on the basis of components and on the basis of geography, network is divided on the basis of geography. Networks are classified like local area network. Now what is a local area network? Local area network is a localized network. It is a type of network is useful when you want to connect two different departments in a building. Data transfer rate is 1000 Mbps. Nowadays local area network has 1 Gbps or 10 Gbps, that is known as 10 gig LAN. Okay, LAN is a high speed and fault tolerant data network. So let's go all through this points. LAN is a localized network. LAN is a localized network means a LAN network is connected like this. Okay, so a LAN network is local. It is not it does not go outside a specific area. Okay, so if that area is a building, then the computers that are connected inside that building are said to be in a LAN. If that area is a campus, let's say a school campus or a university campus, then all the computers that are connected inside that campus are said to be in a LAN. However, that network is known as a campus area network, but still this is known as a LAN. So LAN or local area network is any type of network that is created locally, that has 10 to 100 computers. Okay, data and information exchange is taking place at a very high speed, 1000 Mbps or 1 Gbps or 10 gigs per second. Okay, and it is generally situated in one apartment building or one building block. If the computers are connected in one building block, then it is the computers are said to be in a local area network or in a LAN. Now LAN is a high speed and fault tolerant. Now what is a you all know high speed. What is a fault tolerant data network? So fault tolerant data network is if any sort of error occurs while transfer of data in that network, then if the computers are connected in a LAN, then that can be diminished or that can be reduced. Okay, so any sort of fault occurs in a network, then that fault can be tolerated. Got it? Or any sort of error occurs in a network, that can be corrected in this type of network. So that type of network is known as a fault tolerant data network. So local area networks are fault tolerant networks. Think of our computer lab. Okay, our computer lab computers are connected in a local area network, or the computers inside our school. The computers inside our school is connected in a local area network. So a localized network. If the computers are connected in a localized network, then the computers are said to be in a local area network. Characteristics of LAN. LAN helps in resource sharing data, software and hardware. So if computers are connected in a LAN, if the computers have certain resources, let's say a printer, a scanner, then this can be shared. Or if a software is here in this computer, then that software needs to be copied to other computers, then it can be shared by using LAN. Then it transfers data at a very high speed. Remember, think of what can I say, ripples in a pond. Okay, so if you throw a pebble, then the ripples are more energetic near, and it disperses when it gets far. Computer signals are also like this. If computers are connected locally, or if the computers are at a less distance between each other, then the signal is very strong. If the geographical area increases, if the computer is situated, let's say here outside a certain area, then the signal becomes weak. Okay, so since LAN is a local area network, the computers are localized in one area, that means the signal will be strong, and that's why the data that is exchanged in a strong signal, it transfers at a very high speed. So LAN transfers data at a high speed. LAN's reach is limited, however. So if it is under a certain geographical area, let's say a building or an apartment block, then only it is a LAN. If it goes outside that area, it is not a LAN. Okay, so the reach of LAN is limited. And also one thing that is not mentioned here is the amount of computers in a LAN that can be connected in a local area network is also limited. It is not unlimited. Okay, I forgot the total amount of computers that can be connected in a LAN, but it's 254, I suppose. Okay, and if you have other devices, then the numbers reduces. So take a round figure, 200. LAN's technology is generally less expensive than MAN and WAN. You'll get to know what is a MAN and a WAN, but LAN's technology, that means the things that is used while creating a local area network, are less expensive than metropolitan area network or wide area network. Now we will know what is MAN. Yeah, metropolitan area network. So metropolitan network is a bigger version of LAN. MAN covers a larger area than LAN. MANs generally connect 2 or more LANs or campus area networks. For example, providing internet services in a city, typically MAN covers an area. Okay, so let's just think this one. This is a LAN. Okay, now let's say there's another LAN network here. There's another LAN network here, and let's say there is another LAN network here. And if these all networks are interconnected together, then it becomes a metropolitan area network. That means local area networks in a particular geographical area are connected together. Multiple local area networks connected together forms metropolitan area network. For example, the network in a whole city that comprises of networks from different organizations, from different institutions, etc., etc. Okay, so that is a metropolitan area network. Between LAN and MAN, however, is another type of network that is known as a campus area network. A campus area network is, let's say there is one building. Think of this as a building. But let me erase this one. Okay, this is one building, and this is one building, and this is another building. Okay, so let's say there are certain computers in this building. There are certain computers in this building, and there are other computers in this building. These dots represent computers. Okay, so if these computers are interconnected together, and these computers are also interconnected together, these computers are also interconnected together, so this is a local area network 1, this is a LAN 2, and this is LAN 3. Okay, so if these three LANs are connected together, then it forms a campus area network, or a CAN. Okay, these buildings are situated together in the same geographical area, let's say in a campus, a school campus or a university campus. However, there are 100 computers here, there are 100 computers here, and there are 100 computers in this building. So there is a LAN for these computers, there is a LAN for these computers, there is a LAN for these computers. Now remember, LAN's reach is limited, it cannot extend beyond this building. So if we connect, however, if we connect these LANs together, then it does not stay as a LAN, it becomes a campus area network. And such campus area network together, if we combine in a greater geographical area, okay, then it becomes a metropolitan area network, or a MAN. Got it? So a metropolitan, think of a campus area network as a network in various campuses, and a metropolitan area network that connects all those campuses together. Okay. So typically MAN covers an area between 10 km and 100 km. Okay, so the range of MAN is 10 km to 100 km. Characteristics of MAN: MAN covers an area larger than LAN, obviously. It covers a distance between 10 km, obviously. It operates at a speed of 34 megabits per second to 155 megabits per second. Now LAN speed is higher, 1000 Mbps. Okay, here speed is reduced. Why? Because distance is increased. If distance is increased, then signal integrity and signal strength, it decreases. That's why the speed is also decreased. Expensive equipment is required for forming a MAN. Here is less expensive, here it is more expensive. Why? Because since it covers a greater geographical area, metropolitan area network covers a greater geographical area, to maintain the signal integrity and to maintain the signal strength, we have to deploy various devices, other devices such as repeaters, such as various switches, okay, asynchronous switches, desynchronous, there are managed switches, unmanaged switches. So all these things we have to deploy to keep the signal of metropolitan area network within limits. Okay, it cannot decrease from that limit. If it decreases from the limit, then the computer that is inside the metropolitan area network will not get the correct data. Okay, so since other equipment is required, we have to buy those other equipment, and that increases the cost. That's why expensive equipment is required for forming a MAN. Got it? So then comes wide area network. I have a thing to explain, to show you. Yeah, this is how a local area network, you can just remember this. So local area networks are networks that connects computers. Network that connects computers together. Here, let's say there is a LAN here, there is a LAN here, there is a LAN here, and there is a LAN here. So these are all connected together. That becomes a campus area network. That campus area network, if they are again interconnected together, that becomes a wide area network. Wide area networks together, if they are connected together, then it becomes a metropolitan area network. So MAN. Now sorry, I have explained it. Now why the campus area network together? See, I have not looked at the pictures. Campuses connected together, they form man, and such mans together form WAN. Okay, here I'll explain it here. Wide area network is a type of network used to cover wide geographical area or region. It links different metropolitan cities, countries, and national boundaries. So it is of a bigger geographical area than either LAN or MAN. It may be located entirely within a state or country, or it may be interconnected around the world. Transfer rate of WAN is up to 155 Mbps or less because it often uses public yeah, this is a type of network which goes outside the traditional computer network. Why? Because it needs to extend its reach outside a campus or outside a metropolitan area, cities, even national boundaries, and you have to have other medium. You cannot just take Cat5 and Cat6 cable and then throw it over to the US and connect the other end to the US. No, you have to utilize certain other media such as wireless media, satellites or telephone wires to send the data back and forth. So that's why it often uses telephone networks or least transmission lines, and it uses this type of network. Medium is obviously changed, and since medium is obviously changed, distances are increased, speed also becomes less. Okay, so think of WAN as the biggest type of computer network. It is the computer network that spans across countries, and yeah, that's it. WAN exists in an unlimited geographical area. So the geographical area of wide area network is not a country or even 2-3 countries. It can exist in unlimited geographical area. It is very susceptible to errors due to the distances involved. So because of higher distances, the signal strength or the signal integrity decreases. Okay, and that's why errors or faults occur. So fault tolerance, this is a fault tolerant network because fault is less occurring in LAN. This is a fault intolerant network or a high fault network. Okay, a high fault network means errors can occur. It is very susceptible to errors due to the high distances involved. Okay, so wide area network. So local area network, metropolitan area network, wide area network. Basic 3 types of network. Other than these networks, other than these type of networks, there is a home network. Okay, so home area network is a network which you create in home. It also uses different types of medium for communication. Let's say it can be a wireless, it can be wired, but it is situated in one particular building like a LAN. That type of network is a home area network. Okay, then there is one other sort of network that is like this. Wait, where did it go? Yeah, Bluetooth network. I'll explain Bluetooth network in a minute. Wait, let me just get to on the basis of component role of network. So on the basis of roles of the various components, let me just quickly check if it is recording. Yeah, it's recording. So on the basis of the various components, how they work and how they interact in a network is classified as a peer-to-peer network, a server-based network, and a client-based network. Okay, peer-to-peer network, server-based network, and client-based network. Now, what is a peer-to-peer network? If the computers are connected together in equal manner, okay, so that each computer can behave as a server and a client. Let me explain it here. This is a computer. Wow, what have I drawn? This is a computer and this is another computer, and even though I'm drawing this one smaller, this one bigger, and this one in the middle thing, all these computers are the same. This is computer number 1, this is computer number 2, and this is computer number 3. And See here, no big computer in between. These computers are interconnected. Now these are all powerful computers, okay, and this can behave both as a server and a client. This can also behave as a server and a client. This can also behave as a server and a client, which means this computer can also give or serve files and folders to this computer and this computer. This computer can also serve or give files, folders and applications to this computer and this computer. Then this computer can also similarly serve or give files and folders to this computer and this computer. So these three computers can behave as servers. This computer can take files and folders from these two computers, so it can behave as a client. This computer can take files and folders from these two computers, it can behave as a client, and vice versa. Okay, so now these computers are behaving both as servers and clients. Okay, these computers are connected in a network. Then this is not a server client model. This is not a computer, is a network like this. Where did I show you? Yeah, this is not a network like this where there is one central computer and that central computer is giving data and applications to all other computers. No, this computer is somewhat, this network is somewhat different. Okay, so here these computers are not servers, are not clients. Okay, these will be known as peers, P-E-E-R-S, P-E-E-R-S, peers. Okay, so this is a peer. Now this is a compute. If the computer is here, then these two computers are peers for this computer. Okay, and again, if this is the computer, then computer number 1 and computer number 2 is peers for this computer. So these three computers, if they are together in a network, they behave both as servers and clients. The three of them are powerful, and the network is divided, the information, the exchange of data and information is divided equally among these three computers. Then these computers are said to be in a peer-to-peer network. Okay, so in this type of network, all the connected computers are equal. Each computer maintains its information and can serve both as a server as well as a client whenever required. Such network is primarily used in small computers and blah blah blah. Okay, so understood? Computers connected together with no main or central computer together. These computers can behave both as a server to serve files and folders and applications, or they can behave as clients that take in files, folders and applications. Okay, so these computers are said to be in a peer-to-peer network. Figure given here. See here carefully. You might have to draw it. You don't know what will come. You are giving board examinations. Then where did I leave it? Yeah. On the basis of component, we are now describing networks. Okay, so since the computers behave both as a client and a server, so this is a behavior of the component of the network. So this is why the network is a peer-to-peer network. Remember that. On the behavior of these components now, if there is one central computer which decides what the other computers will do, or what the other computers will take in, what files, what folders, what instructions the other computers will take in, then that configuration where there is one central computer and there are other computers that are connected to this computer, that configuration is known as a server based network. Understood? Let me quickly explain it to you. The client based network. Okay, client based network is similar to server based network, but here the clients take in data and information, and sharing of resources occurs among clients and by the server. Also, the server can allocate computational resources to the clients. Got it? Such things are not available here. Think of this as a what can I say? As a very strict household. Okay, Father and mother says, children will have to obey, no questions asked. Okay, here, yeah, father is saying something, mother is saying, the children are also giving their opinion on it. The children is accepting the father or the mother's things, but also in return they are saying their opinions to the parents, and the parents are also observing the children's behavior, and they are also working on how to improve, okay, in all these things. So strict household, lenient household, think of these two things like this. Okay, so it's a more refined server-based network which employs processing power of the client workstation to execute some of its functions locally and requesting further processing from the server. This increases overall processing speed and all these things. Okay, so in a server-based network, the clients don't have the freedom to exchange data and information amongst each other. If data and information has to be exchanged, it must first go to the server and then come to the other client. Also, the server dictates what the client computers will do. For example, in the computer lab, the network is a server-based network. So if I install a program here, then that program also gets installed in all the other clients. Got it? But in this type of network, in a client-based network, there are individual standalone clients. So these clients are independent PCs, independent computers, which are connected to a server, which can serve files and folders. Okay, so these computers, if required, they can access the server, they can access the resources that are connected to the server if required, but however they can operate on its own. Here in the main server-based network, they cannot operate on its own. The server has to dictate what the clients will do. Okay. So they can operate on its own, but they take the help of the server sometimes. Okay, so this is known as a client-based network, and this type of network where the server dictates everything, the server controls all the network operations, this is known as a server-based network. Okay. Task completion and task execution is very different in these networks. Here, let's say you are watching a movie, then the movie has to be played by the server for you to watch it in a client. Got it? So the application has to be executed in the server for it to be accessed by the client. Strict. Okay, no leniency. But here, what happens is, if you want to watch a movie, then you can load the movie here and watch it, no problem. Or you can load the movie in the server, and then you can access the server and see the movie from the server, where if the server supports it, then the server will obviously give you the playback of the movie. So applications can be rendered, applications can be executed on the server and can be accessed on the client, or the client can individually execute or render applications here. Okay, so this is a client-based network. Now, since in a client-based network, if the server requires certain help from the clients are pretty powerful on executing applications on their own. So if the clients are free, let's say they are not doing any task, then if any certain task is given on the server, then the server can allocate the task to each and every client. Then the time that taken by the task to get executed reduces because it is being divided. Okay, here the task is solely dependent on the server. Only if the task is completed on the server itself. Clients does not take part in any execution of applications in a server-based network. However, in a client-based network, the server can give out parts of execution. It can divide up the computational resources required. It can divide up the processing of the program to different clients. So simultaneously, the clients can execute parts of the program and then it can give it back to the server, thus reducing the time required to process the thing, and thereby increasing the overall processing speed in this type of network. So types of network: client-based network, server-based network, and peer-to-peer network on the basis of component role. Okay, so mm, yeah, difference between a server based network and a peer to peer based network. In a peer to peer based network, the peers are each interconnected together. They are not uh, they are not connected to a central computer, and the task is not dictated by the central computer to each computer. Okay, this is a very important question, by the way. You just remember it graphically, you note it down, and you will write the question answers later for this question. Difference between a server based network and a peer to peer based network, not a server based network and a client based network. Okay, so in a peer to peer network, number one, there is no central computer. In a server based network, there is a central computer. Execution of programs and applications can be done in all the computers that are connected in the peer network. Execution of programs and tasks is done only on the server, and clients can access that server. Got it? In a peer-to-peer based network, a computer can act both as a client and a server. However, in a server-based network, there is one standalone server which serves applications and files to the clients, and the clients only access it. Good. So these are some of the basic differences between peer-to-peer based network and a server-based network. Also, one more difference is there. In a peer-to-peer based network, okay, more hardware components to connect the computers are required. Here the less hardware components is required because all the connections are being forwarded to the server. Okay, think of it like only one switch is required for the server to be connected to the switch, and the switch in turn to be connected to all the computers. Here multiple switches, one switch will require to be connected all these computers together like this, one switch will be required to connect these three computers like this, one switch will be required to connect all these three computers like this, and then the connection between all these switches. Okay, so more hardware, networking hardware peripherals are required. Here less networking hardware peripherals are required. So number one, no central computer. Yes, there is a central computer. Peer to peer, no central. Server based, central computer. Second, the computers are interconnected together. Okay, so this came as a first central computer. Then the terminals behave both as a client and a server. Here terminals behave only as client, and the server behaves as a server. Number three, there is no central computer to display. The computers are powerful enough to execute programs and tasks on its own. Here only the server can execute programs and tasks which can be accessed by the clients, etc. Okay, so difference between server and a peer-to-peer based network. Now everyone knows the difference between a client and a server based network. In a server based network, same things are there. There is one file server, there is one file server. Here clients can access the server if required. Here the clients must access the server. All the applications and tasks are executed in the server. Here the applications and tasks are executed in individual clients. However, server can partake in the execution of these applications and files, and the server can allocate some of its execution to the clients so that less time and less processing time is required for execution of a file in the server. Okay, so this is the difference between a server based network and a client based network. Now next, this is unit 1, chapter 1, part 1 of networking fundamentals that I am going to teach you right now. In the next part we will start from network topology. Okay, so in part 1 you have learned the types of network. In part 2 you will learn about network topology, how network is connected together, all these things. Okay, so stay at home, stay safe, and wait for my other lesson. Bye bye.